Classic Causeway of the field. Let's go. Hey everyone, welcome back. We're here this week to talk about the Tampa Bay Derby, 50-point Kentucky Derby prep. We got a full field of 12, which is very nice to see for the Tampa Bay Derby. Headlined by the number 4 and most likely the morning line and post time favorite once the morning lines are released, Classic Causeway, who won the Sam F. Davis very impressively last time out. But we do have a full field of 12, and let's just jump into it. The number 1 is Grantham for Mike Maker. Last time we saw him, he was finishing 4th in the Withers, which did end up producing Unoho, who came back to win the Rebel. So not as weak as initially thought, even though I think that Arkansas group wasn't as good as the Sam F. Davis field. If you like him underneath, I can see it. I think he'd have to really improve a lot to contend with the likes of Classic Causeway here. The number 2 is Trademark and finished dead last time in the Sam F. Davis. Wasn't the best trip for him, but not really an excuse to run 12th in my opinion. So I'm not going to be able to use this one at all. He should be a huge price if you do like him. He is an instant toss for me. The number 3 is Happy Boy Rocket for Bill Mott. And okay, new shooter here. I kind of like him a bit. He gets junior's riding today, so it's good to see the juniors coming with him. He broke his maiden last time out at Gulfstream. Looked very good doing it. And his pedigree says he should be able to get 2 turns, even though he is sired by Run Happy. But that doesn't seem to be an issue this year with them handling 2 turns. If you're going to take a shot against Classic Causeway, I think you want to take a shot with a new shooter. He's one of the few new shooters in here that I think do have a decent chance. I liked some of the other ones a little bit more. So I would only use Happy Boy Rocket underneath. But Mott's had success in this race in the past. I'm going to do a Tacitus plug here because he did win the Tampa Bay Derby. So Bill Mott's no stranger to having horses run well in the Tampa Bay Derby. So I would not completely dismiss Happy Boy Rocket. And if you're going against Classic Causeway on your tickets, I think he's one that you must include. The number 4 is Classic Causeway. And if he runs that race that he ran last time out in the Sam F. Davis, this one's as good as over. He just looked phenomenal last time out. Got a big figure for it. He looks good. And personally, I don't know who's going to try to stay with him early. So he might, Arad might just be able to get that early lead with him again. So right now, he is going to be my top pick in here. I know it's chalky, but I think he is the goods. So I'm going to take him again here. I don't think anybody's going to be able to hang with him early. And I think Irad's able to sneak away late. This is only a mile and a 16th, though. I do hope we see him run farther than a mile and a 16th before the Derby. So I hope if they win here, the plan is to go to like the Bluegrass or something like that. And we can see him run against a little more competition. But he's definitely the horse to beat in here. The number 5 is Giant Game for Dale Romans, and he was entered last weekend in the Fountain of Youth. He scratched to run here. Not the best sign. I didn't like him last time out. I don't like him here. I've been completely against Giant Game all year. If he beats me, he beats me. He didn't run good in the Holy Bull, so I don't see where maybe the track he improves a little bit, being able to come from off the pace here. I don't see him being a legit win contender. If you like him, maybe use him underneath. That's the best I can do with him. The number 7 is Golden Glider for Mark Cassie. And a Golden Glider, he looked okay last time out. He finished 5th in that Sam F. Davis. He got the trip. He just flat out wasn't good enough he did slightly improve off of his 3-year-old debut. He could improve again today. He's another one, maybe an underneath horse. Personally, I'd rather use some of these new shooters underneath. But yeah, if this Cassie horse is forgotten about and I'm going to get 10-1, I might key him underneath of Classic Causeway and Exactas and Trifectas. And because I do think he is talented enough to hit the board against this field. But I think winning would be you'd really need to improve to compete, I think, with Classic Causeway. The number 7 is Strike Hard. And again, another one. He finished 4th in the Sam F. Davis. He really did nothing wrong. He's kind of like Golden Glider. I think he just really needs to really improve here to be a legit contender. He likes to run around the board though, so he's a perfect underneath horse, I think. He does get Sayas, so having Sayas ride is hard to ignore, but I'm not a huge fan. I think underneath use only. Don't think he's a major win contender. The number 8 is the undefeated Major General for Todd Pletcher, owned by Windstar Farms. He gets Javier Castellano. He won the Grade 3 Iroquois Stakes last time we saw him in September as a 2-year-old. And I don't like him. I know some people really like Major General coming back in this spot. I'm not a huge fan of it. I know Todd's had success in the Tampa Bay Derby in the past. I haven't thought this horse, in my opinion, his numbers have not been fantastic. Similar to Emmanuel last weekend. I need to see something more from him before I take a jump on him. So I'm going to pass on Major General. I know they've been pointing here for a little bit, which is a good sign, but I just think he has too much to make up, I think, and I don't know if he's really going to improve those speed figures enough to be a major contender here. But could he hit the board? Sure. But I think he's probably going to be your second choice, maybe third choice. So I think at a short price, I think he's a play against, especially if you like Classic Causeway. I don't think you're going to get value using both of them on tickets. The number 9 is Shipsational, and he ran second in that Sam F. Davis, and he ran pretty well. Of the horses coming out of the Sam F. Davis, besides Classic Causeway, he is one I would use again underneath. He's just a gutsy little horse. I don't think he's by any means a legit Derby horse, but he does nothing but try, and he always seems to run his race. So I would use him underneath in Exactas and tries. I think you're going to get a price on him too, because I think he's going to be very over. I think a lot of people are going to say he's a New York bred in here, and Classic Causeway already beat him, and he's going to be forgotten about on the board. So I think you'll get around 10-1 on him. I think he'll be worth the use underneath. Don't think he can win, however. There's only a couple horses I actually think can win besides Classic Causeway, and we're going to get to them. And one of them is the number 10 Belgrade for Graham Motion. And I've been impressed with this one. He won last time out here at Tampa. He looked good winning. I like his pedigree. I think he can stretch. I definitely think this is the right. I think he can. This distance should not be a problem. I like his running style. I'm not a huge fan of Diaz getting the mount, but at a price, I think he's a new shooter in here that has potential to improve. So he's not going to be my first new shooter that I would use, but I would have him a little higher than Happy Boy Rocket or Major General in here. I just think he's interesting. The 10 post is interesting at Tampa. I feel like more often than not, that's this 10, the outside posts here do pretty well in these races. So I would definitely give him a look. You should get a price on him either way. So if you like him, definitely use him. I'm definitely going to use him with Classic Causeway on my tickets. The number 11 is Money Supply, and this is the horse that I think could be it could actually be a win contender with Classic Causeway. I'm not never a huge fan of Chad Brown on the dirt, but he already has Zendon, who I think is very, very good. And Money Supply looked great in his debut. The pedigree on Practical Joke out of a Candy Ride mare looks great. I Nothing bad to say about this one. Owned by Klarovich, a great combination. Jose Ortiz rides, and I love when Jose rides for Chad. Money Supply. If I'm going to go against Classic Causeway, Money Supply would be the horse I'm going with. I'll probably play like a Saver Exacta, Classic Causeway over Money Supply, and then the other way around, just in case. I do still think Classic Causeway is the horse to beat here, but if I'm going to take a shot against him, it's with the number 11 Money Supply. The number 12 is Spin Wheel for George Arnold, and I not a huge fan. He's coming out of that holy ball. I know Simplification just came back to win the Fountain of Youth out of the holy bull, but I don't know. He didn't really run great in that race. So kind of hard to see him improving a lot. Uh Improving a lot here. It is his second start as a 3-year-old, so we could see a little improvement. I don't think this is it. I think this horse is going to eventually end up back on the turf, and I think they're kind of giving it one more go here to see if maybe they have a Derby starter. But overall, I am going with Classic Causeway as my top pick, followed by Money Supply, Belgrade, and then Happy Boy Rocket would be my top 4 here. I think if Classic Causeway runs as good as he did last time, this should be it. He should dominate. It would guarantee him a spot in the Kentucky Derby. And if he runs well here, he's already near the top of a lot of Derby boards. An impressive win here might propel him all the way to the top. I know it'd probably be a recency bias there, but horse has done nothing wrong so far. So I'm excited to see if he can improve. If he doesn't improve, well, then we'll have somebody else. We'll have somebody else in the Derby picture, and everybody's top 10s will look a lot different come Monday. So best of luck this weekend, and we'll be back.